Good afternoon, everyone. I think we have everyone who was in the waiting room. Rachel, do you see anybody else or anything else?
No, it looks like everyone's admitted.
Okay, very good. All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Crystal Green. Oh, I guess I should share my video. There we go. Sorry about that. My name is Crystal Green. I am the Chief Marketing Officer for Charlotte Mecklenburg Library, and I want to welcome everyone to this Charlotte Mecklenburg Library rebranding RFP pre-proposal meeting. That was a mouthful. Just to start off, I need to let everyone know that this meeting is being recorded and it will be posted online either later on today or sometime tomorrow for others to view if they could not make the meeting. All right, we will do a few housekeeping messages first. And the first thing is, if you are not speaking, please mute your microphone. Again, I will repeat, if you are not speaking, please mute your microphone. There will be time to ask questions today. So certainly you can save them towards the end when we have the Q&A portion, or you can put them in the chat. The chat does work for everyone, and we will take them at the end as well. And also, if time does run out, or for some reason you have to leave early, or you just could not get your question asked, you have until 8 p.m. tomorrow to submit your question through the form that is on the RFP webpage. So do not panic, do not worry, you still have time to get in those questions that you may have. With that being said, hopefully you all can see my screen. It should say the library logo and then rebranding RFP, pre-proposal meeting, October 8th, 2024, 2 p.m. virtual meeting. If you all are able to give me a thumbs up from the reaction, just so that I'll know that you can see it, that would help me out tremendously. Okay, very good. They're coming in. Very good. Very good. All right. And certainly I can see your names, but just in case, I would like for folks to identify themselves so we'll know who all is on the call. Again, I'm Crystal Green with the library. I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Daryl Anderson.
Hello, I'm Daryl Anderson, also with the library, Marketing Communications Specialist. I'll pass it off to Rachel now.
Hi, I'm Rachel Bradley. I am a library admin coordinator. Michael?
Yep, good afternoon. Michael Boger, Deputy Finance Director.
All right, and then whoever else would like to go next.
Good afternoon. I'm Keisha Portis, Digital Experiences Director at the library.
Good afternoon, John Pietrafesa, Executive Creative Director and Partner at Mode.
Thank you, John.
I guess I'll go next because I'm also at Mode. Hi, everyone. I'm Kate Mickham. I'm the Director of Account Leadership here.
Welcome, Kate. Go ahead, Meredith.
Hi, I'm Meredith. I'm the Marketing Director at BRK Global Marketing.
Welcome.
Hello, this is Jeff Maslin, President and Creative Director at Mindstorm Communications.
Thanks for joining us, Jeff.
Good afternoon. This is Lauren Bickerstaff, Creative Director at Saturday Creative.
Hello, Lauren.
Hey, Crystal.
I'm Jason Mills. I'm a Senior Client Services Director with Atypic.
Right. Thank you, Jason. I think that is everyone, and certainly if I did not give you a chance to identify yourself, you can do it during the question and answer portion. But again, welcome to everyone and thanks for joining us. Let's go ahead and get started. So who is Charlotte Mecklenburg Library? Obviously, we are the public library here in Mecklenburg County, and it is our mission to improve lives and build a stronger community. Now, I put that there because I want you all to realize and recognize how important this mission is to us. The folks who work at Charlotte Mecklenburg Library live and breathe this every day. We truly believe that we are here to help people better their lives and help better our community. And we believe that the main way that we can do that is to provide open access to our collections, programs, and resources. At the end of the day, our goal is to help you be the best version of yourself. And being able to use our collections, programs, and resources, if we can help you with that and help you on your knowledge journey, then that is the thing that we are truly wanting to do for the community. Our values. Obviously, if you've read the RFP, it says that our values are learning, openness, respect, inclusion, and leadership. Now, I probably don't have to go over those, but I'm just going to give you a couple of pieces for each of those. Essentially, learning is learning. We want everyone to be able to learn whatever it is that they would like to learn. Openness, we want our environments to be welcoming and friendly, where anybody feels like they can come in and have access to everything that we have. Certainly respect, that speaks to integrity and making certain that you respect people for who they are and where they are. Inclusion, we don't care who you are welcome into our doors. You are welcome to take part in our programming, and you are welcome to our collections. You are welcome to our resources. And then, of course, leadership, we recognize our role as a leader in the community, and we want to make certain that we empower everyone to learn, innovate, and lead. So now, for those of you who don't know about Charlotte Mecklenburg Library or know where we are, we do have 21 library locations in Mecklenburg County. As you can see, about 15 of them are within the city of Charlotte. The last branch that we opened was actually Pineville in 2022 and is absolutely fantastic. I encourage all of you, if you have not, to just go check out a library, not for the purposes of this RFP necessarily, but just to see what your local library branch has to offer you. There's also a digital branch that we have, so any resources or collections or anything that we might have online, folks can go out and access us that way as well. Now, what many folks don't know is the library is not just brick and mortar. We actually go out into the community and we meet people where they are. We have a team that we call our outreach department, and they go beyond the walls of Charlotte Mecklenburg Library. They are in schools, they are in communities, they are in barbershops, they are at festivals. You can see them all types of places. Again, making certain that Charlotte Mecklenburg Library is accessible to anyone who might want to use our collections, programs, or resources. And hopefully you've seen, while you've been on the streets of Charlotte, hopefully you've seen our mobile library that we lovingly call Molly. Again, she has books, she has resources, and we also do programming through Molly. We take the mobile library out into the community, usually to areas that may have barriers to access. Maybe there is not a brick and mortar library branch that's nearby, or maybe there are transportation issues so that somebody can't access those library branches. So again, it's just our way of making certain that we are open and accessible to our entire community. That brings back the improving lives and building a stronger community. So now what's next? Hopefully you have heard about new main library. We are building a new main library in the same location that the main library has been since the Carnegie Library in 1903. So if you've driven down Tryon or College Street in between 6th and 7th Streets, you've seen the construction fencing, and you've probably seen activity and whatnot. That is us building our new main library. And also, we will be opening a new University City Regional Library in early 2025. Now, there is currently a University City Regional Library. We will just be closing that location and moving to a location off of J.W. Clay and W.T. Harris. And to give you an idea of what those locations will look like, this is New Main Library. The building that you see on the left is McGlowan Theater, and then you see Main Library there on the right. And then for University City Library, this is a rendering of what we are building. I can tell you I've taken a visit there while construction is going on, and it's going to be fantastic. Something that the community really enjoys, and it's just a place where all will feel welcome and they can come in and read and enjoy a program or enjoy one of the many, many resources that we offer the community. So why are we rebranding? Hopefully you've seen our brand out in the community, and it's a pretty strong one. It has served us well. However, we are bringing in a new era. You saw the pictures of, or the picture of the New Main Library. That's something that is near and dear to our hearts, and it is going to be iconic. We also put together, must have been about a year ago, an intellectual freedom statement that really drives home the point that we are committed to protecting everyone's right to free and open access to information. And also, the library is about to roll out a new strategic direction. It's been quite some time since we've done one, and we are planning it for FY26 through FY28. For those of you who are not familiar with fiscal years or what our fiscal year is, it is July 1 of whatever year through June 30th of the following year. So right now we are in FY25. We also are rebranding because we want to make certain that we show our support of access, engagement, welcoming, and learning. And also we want to signify the growth that we are going through, that growth and evolution, like I said, with opening these new branches, with having our intellectual freedom, with creating a clear path and a clear vision of where the library will be going over the next 3 fiscal years. We want a brand that really, really signifies what it means to be Charlotte Mecklenburg Library and the mission that we have taken on. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of the RFP. I will tell you, and I'm going to pause here, if you have not read it, you should. Everything that you need to know is there. Many of your questions probably can be answered there, but certainly we want to hear whatever questions you do have. But I encourage you to read it. And after you've read it, go and read it again. So that you can make certain that when you respond to it, you're doing everything that you need to do so that you can put together a proposal that meets the requirements. So in our scope of work, we are looking for a current brand audit. You can see the mosaic tile going down the left-hand side of your screen right now. That is definitely a part of our brand. But really, we are looking for a firm that's going to go out into the community, into our branches, into our library administration center, and understand exactly how our brand is used. And not just the logo and the mosaic strip and that sort of thing, but also understanding how the community feels about Charlotte Mecklenburg Library, understanding how employees feel about Charlotte Mecklenburg Library, and how we make others feel about Charlotte Mecklenburg Library. We are also looking for a brand identity package. So that's the whole kit and caboodle. That is a logo, which you see our logo there in the bottom right-hand portion of the screen. That is the system-wide logo. If you've read the RFP and you've gone down to the brand guidelines that are at the end of the document, you've also seen the sub-brands that we have. So we are looking to redo those as well, looking for taglines, color palette, typography, pictures, a style guide, and it's a comprehensive style guide. You can see by the one that we have now that it is very comprehensive. the person who is awarded the contract or the firm who is awarded the contract would need to have produce a strong style guide. And then also those print and digital identity templates. So think PowerPoint presentations, business cards, letterhead, that sort of thing. Again, all of this needs to meet with our mission of improving lives and building a stronger community, and all of the things that represent Charlotte Mecklenburg Library. There also needs to be a brand strategy. So we do not expect the winning firm to have to roll out the actual brand strategy, but to give us a clear path on how we could go about doing that, and what that looks like. We understand, and you will come to understand once you see how much branding we have throughout the community, that it will take some time and probably take resources. So if it is something that you believe should be done in phases, that is completely okay. And then, of course, we are looking for account management services. We need to make certain that this project goes smoothly and that all of the deliverables are presented to the library by May 30th of 2025. So with the mention of deliverables, let's get into that. Again, the brand audit, and then the new brand identity with all of the accompaniments. Notice we put here vehicle wraps. We do have several vehicles within our fleet that would include our mobile library or Molly. And we actually will be introducing a new vehicle that goes out into the community very shortly here. It's a mobile technology classroom that would be included in that as well. And then the brand strategy that I just talked about. All deliverables are due to Charlotte Mecklenburg Library by May 30th of 2025 by whoever wins the contract. So the proposal components, what makes for a successful proposal? The things that we've outlined in the RFP that you must include for your proposal to be considered and for it to be complete. Again, we need the project work plan that responds to the scope of work. We need the proposed budget and expenditure plan. We need a demonstration of your past success or successes. We also need the qualifications of whoever will be serving on this account, and then references. So as far as evaluation criteria, we will be looking at all of those components, and you can see here how everything will be scored. You have a maximum point value of 100 points, with obviously the heaviest weight being given to that project work plan that responds to the scope of work. Then followed by equal weights of 20 points for the budget and expenditure plan, and then demonstration of your past successes. And then, of course, the qualifications of the folks who will be working on the account, and then references. So again, if you have not read the RFP, you need to read it. Read it and then read it again. Here are the things that you will need in your proposal package. You will need 5 paper copies, and you will also need an electronic copy. You need to put those paper copies in a sealed envelope, and they must be delivered to the Library Administration Center, which is located at 510 Stitt Road. We are connected to the Kimbrels, that is off of Eastway Drive, right next to the Ella B. Scarborough Community Resource Center. It needs to be delivered by November 6th by 2 p.m. That does not mean postmarked by November 6th at 2 p.m. That means it needs to be in our hands by November 6th at 2 p.m. Within your proposal package, you need to have the proposal certification that is listed or given in the RFP. And then, of course, those components that we just talked about. The proposed project plan, the proposed budget and expenditure plan, demonstration of past successes, key personnel qualification, and references. So let's go through the timeline. Obviously, we've already issued the RFP, and here we are at the pre-proposal meeting. But again, you do have a chance to submit written questions if there is a question that you have that is not answered here today, or you happen to think of something after we end our time together this afternoon. And then we will provide, Charlotte Mecklenburg Library will provide answers to those questions on the RFP webpage by October 11th. Proposals are due at 2 p.m. on November 6th at the Library Administration Center at 510 Stitt Road. Once we get those proposals, we will open them, and then we will have a committee review all of the proposals and select the finalists. The finalists will then be notified on November 15th that they are finalists, and they will be given a couple of weeks to put together a presentation so that they can come in and present whatever they would like to us, and our selection committee can ask questions. And then finally, we plan to make a decision and award a contract the week of December 9th. So before we move on to question and answer, I actually put this picture and this quote in because I think it drives home what Charlotte Mecklenburg Library is really about. Now, I do have to do a little disclaimer. The young lady and the lady reading on the left-hand side, they are not the Bryants, but this is a picture that drives home the quote. My child's teachers were particularly impressed with her academic performance, especially in reading. I firmly believe that the impactful work of you and the remarkable individuals at Imaginon and the Plaza Midwood Library played a significant role in the fostering of her love for learning and reading. Again, that mission statement, improve lives and build a stronger community. So I've talked long enough. It's now time for questions if you have any, and would be happy to do my best to answer whatever questions you have. I am going to stop sharing, but certainly if I need to go back to any place in the presentation, we absolutely can. I can pull it back up. Are there any questions from any of the people who are on the call representing the different firms? Well, man, we must have done a great job with the RFP and with this presentation. I feel honored. Oh, yes, John.
Hey, Crystal, this is John from Mode. Just a couple of questions, I guess, just from a high level. Would love to hear from you guys as you think about this rebrand. I guess two questions. How would you define a successful rebrand? What would it look like? And then I think also what, you know, in your words, what are you looking for in a partner in this endeavor?
Sure. Thank you, John. That's a great question. So let's take the second question first. I think what we are looking for are folks who are very forward thinking. If you've read the RFP, you saw that one of the challenges is the stigma and stereotypes that public libraries across the country still deal with. Everybody thinks we're still book lenders, and we are. That's our bread and butter, but we're so much more than that. Folks think that we are primarily here for children, and we are, based on the quote that I just did, we are here for children, but we're also here for adults as well. As you dig into what the library offers, you will see that we have adult programming that centers around being able to get a job. We lend computers. You could go to a concert. There are so many things that you can do here besides just childhood literacy. And then also folks think we're antiquated. They think of their grandmother's library where you had to be quiet, and the librarian who promptly reprimanded you and told you to be quiet, when that certainly is not the case anymore. Much of our programming is loud and impactful. Some of it is actually messy if we're doing something that's craft-wise. We really are looking for someone who can grasp onto that and deliver a brand that speaks to our value in the community. As far as a partner, we are looking for folks who are open to different ideas and who will bring us different ideas. Please understand that the folks you represent are librarians, so they are deep thinkers. They ask questions and they know how to find answers. That's pretty much what they do all day. So something that represents that as well, but again, represents the value that Charlotte Mecklenburg Library brings to the community. And then as far as what does a successful rebrand look like? At the end of the day, we need something that is recognizable in the community and something that our staff, stakeholders, and the community feels represents them. They feel good about it. When they see it, there's either a smile or a light bulb goes off that, oh, I need to check out whatever is going on at my local branch. And even if they never step foot in one of our branches, we want them to understand that we are valuable. Did I answer your question?
That was fantastic. Yes, very well. And I have others if that's
go for
okay. A couple, more practical questions as we think about stakeholders and decision makers throughout this process. Who's going to be involved in the decision-making process on this project? Is it a tight group within the library system, or does that go outside the four walls of the library?
Okay, let's take that in two sections. So let's talk about the RFP itself, and then let's talk about the actual rebrand. The RFP, the selection panel will be made up of several folks from within our organization. There will also be a board member for Charlotte Mecklenburg Library. There will be a board member who will be on the panel, and then there will be somebody who's outside of library world but has experience in marketing and communications who will be a part of the panel. It also, you should know, will include our CEO. As far as the rebranding goes, there will be several levels of involvement, if you will. So think we will need to take whatever we are thinking about to staff. Our staff demands that they are involved in processes that the library takes on. They love this organization and want to see it represented to its fullest. So we will need to incorporate something where they are involved in helping us either whittle down or giving us feedback of the sort. And then there will come a time where we may need to take some things out to the public or to our board for them to look at as well. At the end of the day, though, the final selection will be within the library. Did that answer your question?
That's great. Yes, thank you so much.
All right. You said you had several, so if you have another.
I can keep going. I've got lots of questions.
You have time to go for it.
In the RFP, you mentioned that at the first half of 2024, you guys conducted some level of research within the organization and with the public. Can you provide us a little bit more information about what's in that? And again, as we think about preparing for a brand strategy, a rebrand, understanding audiences is obviously going to be critical. So knowing what we'll have to work with will be really, really helpful as we put together a plan. So any information you can provide in terms of what that research consisted of or what we can imagine to find within the results of that would be fantastic.
Sure. So that must have been January through maybe March of 2024. We conducted a survey as part of our strategic direction. We were able to get responses back from 4,000 citizens about what they felt about the library and how they use the library, the things that we do well, the things that maybe we don't do so well or they would like to see us do more of or do less of. It truly was about reaching out to the community and also staff and understanding what they want from their library and how they see us now.
That's great. And then I'll end with this one. As far as brand standards were fantastic, very comprehensive. Thank you for clarifying in terms of inclusion of those sub-brands. The other question that we had was around the I Can campaign, really looking at that as obviously a pretty powerful brand campaign that's pretty directly connected to the existing brand identity. As part of this branding process, I know you had mentioned taglines, but are you looking for some level of campaign to introduce this brand to the community that would replace ICANN, or are you looking to preserve the ICANN brand campaign?
So I'm going to give you an answer that you probably won't like.
Okay.
It really is up to you and what you suggest. We are open to everything. So if your firm digs into Charlotte Mecklenburg Library and you see, ICANN has been fantastic and it has really served the library, but with what they are trying to do, it is time to turn the page on it, then that is what you should recommend. If you think, man, ICANN is super strong and they need to keep going with it, maybe just evolve it some, then that is what you should recommend. Or if you think they shouldn't touch it, that is what you should recommend. I'm really going to give you one of those open-ended questions or open-ended answers that nobody likes and tell you it really is about whatever you would recommend.
No, that's great. Appreciate that. And I think that answers all the questions that we have for now. So thank you very much. This has been really, really helpful.
Absolutely. Is there anyone else on the call who has, oh, I see folks coming off of mute. Meredith, I see you're off of mute. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I have just a couple to kind of piggyback off of John's question. Is the expectation that those recommendations happen at this point or only once we are awarded the project?
So I think you could probably touch on what you think should happen, just to give us an idea of your thought process, but we are not looking for anything fully fleshed out for this actual proposal.
Okay. And then the only other question I have is just knowing that you really like the brand that you currently have and that you said it served you well. Can you share what agency did that work originally, and are they also bidding on this project?
Let me answer that in the Q&A because I want to make certain I don't get it wrong and I don't want to misspeak. Because the folks who I think did the branding on this call, but again, I do not want to misspeak there, so I'll answer that question in the Q&A.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've got a quick question. Yeah, thank you. As we're thinking through relevant case studies to include in your response, obviously this RFP is very focused on the brand itself and the launching of that brand. I'm curious if you are interested in seeing specific examples where where we've taken a brand past the launch into really relevant extension areas and brought it to life in different ways, or if you'd like to keep most of the response, really focused on the rebrand itself.
So if you believe that that is one of your successes, there is a place in the RFP for you to provide that. In fact, that is one of the evaluation criteria. So certainly if you want to provide us with that information and talk about how it was successful and from ideation to evaluation, then certainly we would love to hear that.
Perfect, thanks.
Are there any other questions? All right. Well, if there are none, again, you still have an opportunity to ask questions through the form that is on the RFP webpage. I encourage you to use it. We certainly will be providing answers to them. If there is nothing else, then I'm going to let you get back to your Tuesday afternoon. Again, proposals are due November 6th at 2 p.m. They must be at the Library Administration Center on that date by 2 p.m. in hand, based on the things that I said earlier. Again, questions, submit them, please. You have until 8 p.m. on tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And if you choose to respond to the RFP and provide a proposal, I look forward to what you put together. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, wait, Jason, did you need something?
Oh, no, I was just going to say thank you for your time, Crystal.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Rachel, are